Welcome back to Game On. I'm Nick.
And I'm John. So if you saw our last episode, we played Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze in the studio, Nintendo's latest Wii U platformer.
I'm pretty sure our other producer is the only Wii U fan here.
Well, it seems pretty great. Here's what we thought after playing some more. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Wii U is the second Donkey Kong platformer by Retro Studios, the minds behind Metroid Prime. On Donkey Kong's birthday, a band of ice-themed Vikings, the Snowmads, invade DK Island and its neighboring islands with the power of a frosty storm. It's up to Donkey and his fellow Kongs to save the tropics and end winter early. If you've ever played a Donkey Kong Country game, the mechanics will definitely feel familiar, with every level changing up mechanics or adding in new concepts. No two levels will ever be similar back to back, as you go from mine carting to vine swinging or riding a rhino dodging lava from an erupting volcano. This isn't even bringing up the boss fights, which each one being a decent length and feeling like a cherry to top off each world. Donkey's got his usual abilities of jumping on foes or rolling into them, but he can also gain the help of his friends. Each Kong gives him extra defense against damage, and a special ability, and can be controlled by a second player. Diddy lets you hover with his jetpack, Dixie gives you an extra jump, and Cranky lets you bounce off of enemies and harmful surfaces. While they are all fun to use in multiplayer, Diddy's hovering is overshadowed by Dixie's flying jump, and will likely not be your first choice. The levels are accompanied by what might be one of the best soundtracks in a video game, featuring the composer of the Super Nintendo DK games, David Wise. The music really brings the levels to life, and the levels already shine with gorgeous art design. The difficulty curve is supreme, and those who turn a blind eye to Mario games for being too easy will want to give this a try. The game isn't bogged down by tutorials, with the player expected to pick up the controls and adapt to the game, just like old-fashioned platformers. The controls are super tight thanks to Retro avoiding usage of the gamepad screen or shaking the controller to make Donkey Kong roll in their last game. When you die in a level, which you will do a lot, it's usually your fault. Taking the time to beat a hard level and overcome every obstacle feels like an accomplishment, and if you get accustomed to the controls and storm through levels without dying, you will feel like the king of the jungle. Just be ready for 30-second loading screens. Those you can't overcome. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is the best game on the Wii U so far, with its smart level design and flawless aesthetics. The ice theme is used with balance, and each level tops the other with new gameplay antics. These jungle hijinks get the game 9 frozen bananas out of 10. Now, Nick, I have a question about this game. How much rapping is in it?
I don't think there's any.
Because we all know that Donkey Kong, has a very storied hip-hop past. He's kind of like a West Coast guy who was doing a lot of stuff with like Tupac and like Snoop Dogg and Warren G. and
Yeah, but there's no rapping in this, so it's kind of unfortunate.
So is it even a Donkey Kong game? Is it even Donkey Kong?
I don't think I would classify it as a Donkey Kong game.
Then what would you classify it as?
A bunch of monkeys running around.
Yeah.
Not Donkey Kong, because Donkey Kong needs rap in it.
Well,
Donkey Kong 64, DK Rap, man.
Yeah, well, that's kind of, that was his big break. That was his regulate of the Donkey Kong series.
Yeah.
I like Donkey Kong Country. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I played the Wii one, Donkey Kong Country Returns, and that game, I wanted to take my Wii remote and just break it over my knee. It was so hard. It was such a hard game. But by the time I got to the end of it, it became a mission that I needed to beat this game.
I see. See, the thing about this game though, I remember watching it last week. That opening credits was so weird.
Look,
the premise of the whole game is strange.
You're playing as a giant gorilla with a red tie with a monkey on your back
I
that's
just
shooting
want to
peanuts.
know where they came up with the idea of Viking penguins.
I think you're
invading.
focusing on the wrong thing in this game. I think you're looking at it as that's the weird part of this game.
So what's the weird part of this game?
Everything. This is a weird game. Donkey Kong is strange. This is one of the things that you need to realize. He has a jetpack. It's 2 barrels, but they're...
That's not him, that's Diddy Kong, and he shoots a peanut
I know,
gun.
I'm saying he has a jetpack that shoots fire out of it, but it's just barrels. And he has got the wooden guns that shoot peanuts.
I don't necessarily agree with the premise, but that's fine. Anyway, speaking of games that put creative twists on classic genres, have you played Sleeping Dogs? It's not that bad.
I love Sleeping Dogs.
It's pretty fun. It's time to take a trip halfway around the world in United Front's gritty, open-world RPG Sleeping Dogs. You play as Wei Shen, an undercover cop in Hong Kong who has infiltrated the Triads in hopes to tear it down from the inside out. However, as the game commences, the line between his two lives becomes blurred, and his motives for justice are tainted with the wants of revenge. Wei must decide which side of the law he wants to end up on. Though the over-the-shoulder gameplay, free roam abilities, and graphics closely resembling GTA 4 and 5, there's one factor that makes Sleeping Dogs stand out. It's martial arts combat. Especially early in the game, guns are scarce, so Wei must rely on different fighting methods and finishing moves to stay alive. Using items found in the world around him, Wei can take on rival gangsters and survive. Once guns are available, Wei can go into slow-mo during shootouts to cause maximum destruction. By completing side missions ranging from martial arts training to karaoke, Wei can build up reputation points that help him unlock new fighting skills, health increases, and outfits. Unfortunately, this game does not come without some issues. The aiming controls can be awkward and clunky at times, and the combat controls have the tendency to not respond or lag when you're in the middle of a fight. Even the driving controls are extremely sensitive, making it difficult not to crash into a wall. All bugs aside, Sleeping Dogs has put a new spin on action RPGs with their unique combat system and unique storyline. We give Sleeping Dogs 7.5 flying sidekicks out of 10.
We're cops. There are rules.
You're a cop. I am an undercover cop. The rules are different.
Okay, I really liked Sleeping Dogs.
I did too.
I don't know how much of you. Did you
I've
play
played
the whole
I've
thing,
played
or?
a bit of it. I've been introduced to it. I haven't played a lot of it because I don't own it, but
Mm-hmm.
I've played all my friends' copies, and it's fun.
I got enough into this game where you can like you can go to like clothing stores and like
Did you-
I bought like multiple outfits, and like every time my character would get up, I would like go to his closet and I would have to wear a different thing because you can't wear the same.
So you'd
outfit more
like
than
delve
one day in a row.
deeply into the mind.
Yeah,
of
I
Wei.
became Wei Shen. It was me like kicking people into telephone
So like when
booths
you were doing
and
that, you
being
just
the
started like
raddest,
screaming in
baddest cop.
Chinese, like
What?
into your microphone, like whenever you were beating somebody out.
Yeah, I even though I don't even know Chinese,
Yeah.
like I became so invested in the character that through like osmosis, I absorbed the language.
Yeah, I could see it, and I could see this being a problem because eventually you're gonna like merge realities, and you're not gonna be able to discern.
I'm not gonna
what's-
know what's Sleeping Dogs and what is my life.
Yeah, and you're just gonna randomly like flying sidekick one of your professors one of these days, and then try to arrest them for like some sort of drug trafficking.
How do you know I haven't done that already? Maybe I'm just in that deep, man. Like an undercover cop.
All right.
When he's investigating, he goes in too deep. That's me and the game.
Well, John, when we come back, we'll be discussing Octodad in the Indie Corner. No, I can't see it.